Welcome to this video on Agility Trader 6. Feel free to pause the video and press the rewind button if necessary if you wish to review any of the items that I discussed throughout the video. I'm going to cover the installation of the program. We'll review the README file. There are some file operations that need to be carried out post-installation. And then we'll start the program and review the various features within the program itself. The download is in the form of a self-extracting exe file. This is the file highlighted here. To start the installation, it's just a matter of running that particular program. So we'll go ahead and do that. The first prompt that appears now, just accept the default values by clicking on Next, Next again. I would tick this box, create a desktop shortcut, click on Next, and then finally your Install button. So the program has now gone ahead and been installed. When you click on the Finish button, the README file will automatically open. I draw your attention to 4 files which you need to copy from the installation directory into your Metatrader 4 installation. To save time, I won't go ahead and do those transfers now, but we will make reference to them within the directory structure. So after you've copied them in, you need to right-click on Expert Advisors within the Navigator section of Metatrader 4 and just click on Refresh. And then a note about attaching the MT API expert to any chart to ensure that you have that connection with Metatrader 4 from the Agility Trader 6 program. We'll just have a look at the directory structure. Go into Documents. There's a subdirectory under Documents called Agility Trader 6. Now the 4 files in question are the MTATI exe4, the Agility Trader exe4, 2 other files which relate to the graphic user interface within Metatrader, and that's that one there and that one there. So it's just a matter of right-clicking on these files and copying them into the buffer, and then opening Metatrader and navigating to the appropriate section within the data folder. For the Expert Advisors, it's under MQL4 Experts, and then right-clicking and clicking on Paste. Anyway, we'll go ahead at this stage and open up the program. It's the icon that's been created on your screen. So this is the program opening for the first time. You can see that we have a number of command buttons across the top relating to each of the features within Agility Trader 6. We'll do with each command button in turn and give you a brief introduction of each one. It starts with the Build Strategies command button highlighted. If you look down below that button, you've got 3 tabs. You've got Management tab, Stop Loss and Take Profit tab, and then the Trade Conditions tab. Management tab relates to the overall management parameters within your strategies that you're building. The second tab across is your Stop Loss and Take Profit details. And finally, you've got the Trade Conditions tab. Now, we have 4 trade conditions. Whatever trade condition you highlight, the inputs appear over into the input boxes. And to add a condition, you click on the Add Condition button. So if we just look at this first condition, the trade type is a buy at market price. Look back is the last bar. We're looking at the RSI 14 crossing above a nominated value of 30. In other words, it's crossing from an oversold condition into the normal trading area. And we've got an opposing sell condition here, which is the RSI moving from the overbought situation into the normal trading area. So you've got it moving, crossing above below the 70 value. And you can see here that the comparison is crossing below. Just whilst we're on this subject, you can look at the types of parameters that you can use, and there's quite an extensive list of parameters. I refer you to the documentation available through the help file to review the various parameters available. If you're going to change a condition, just make sure that you do click on the Update Condition button. We'll have a look at another condition here. This is a a time condition that relates to preventing trades taking place on a Monday. So if we set the time greater than a nominated value of 2 in the first parameter, it simply means that there'll be no trades taken until midnight commencing Tuesday morning. So that's why we say 2 rather than 1, because it looks at trades commencing at midnight on Tuesday morning. If you wanted to make that midnight Wednesday morning, you just change that value to 3. But don't forget, if you're going to change the value, you need to update the condition. So when we press update condition, this value changes from a 2 to a 3. We just go back to 2 and update it back to the original value. So here we have 4 sets of parameters. There's 2 relating to the buy. The joins are normally AND, but you can have whatever you like. You can have an AND or exclude, and you've got the bracketed values. Once again, I refer you to the help documentation for those. Just leave it as it is at the moment. So once you're happy with your set of conditions, you can write the strategy file, and it will be saved for future reference. It's just a matter of if you wish to load a previous strategy file, you use the read strategy file button. We go ahead and run the back test on that. It's not a particularly impressive back test, but you can see it stepped fairly quickly through the last 3 months of data, and it's determined that if we were to trade based on those parameters on their own, that would be an $805 loss on your $10,000 opening balance. We just go back to these strategies and we'll review what we can do about this strategy that doesn't appear to work. What we're going to do is we're going to try and optimize the strategy. Now, if you look at the stop loss and take profit situations, you can see that the stop loss is set at 75 pips and the take profit is set at 75 pips. By highlighting the checkbox out on the left-hand side, we are selecting these values to be automatically optimized. So anything that has a checkbox highlighted, it will be optimized automatically. Within the trade conditions, we haven't got anything being optimized. We'll just leave them as is. So we'll just go ahead and optimize this particular set of trading strategies with just stop loss and take profit. So I'll click on the optimize button. It will step through fairly quickly, and it's optimizing take profit and stop loss. And you can see as it's testing the various values that these results will be entered into the settings box over here. So just by optimizing take profit and stop loss, we've turned this strategy into a profitable strategy. Stop loss is 54 and the take profit is 90. So that's the optimizer in action. There are custom values that you can use within the optimizer. If I go back to build strategies, you can see that the within the stop loss and take profit, those values that were the optimized values have been transferred in automatically. We could choose to optimize any of the trade conditions. If I was to select the RSI 14, we would also be optimizing the period for the RSI, and similarly on the this particular one, if I selected that, you can notice now that we have, we'll update that condition, and I'll go back to this one, select that parameter and update that condition. You can see now that there's a little asterisk out beside parameters 1. So if you see an asterisk beside it, it means that those values have been selected for optimizing the parameters. There is a custom optimization button available there. I'll refer you to the help file to read about custom optimization. So you can change the step values for the optimization process and also the number of iterations within the optimization. Just move on to the next feature, which is the multi-charts feature. I'll click on that particular one, and you can see that we have a whole lot of small, if you like, charts here. There's nothing displayed at the moment because we haven't established a connection with Metatrader. Now, before you click on the connect button, just make sure that within your Metatrader program you do have the MT API Expert Advisor loaded onto a chart and auto trading is enabled. If I'm pressing auto trading, You don't get the smiley face here. Just make sure that within your tools that you have enabled the expert advisors through the expert advisors tab. So you'd want to have that box ticked, and that box ticked. So we do have a valid connection, so we can just minimize that for the moment. And we'll click on the connect button, and this will automatically connect now to Metatrader, and it will bring in all the information relating to the 14 currency pairs, and you'll see a lot of mini charts appear. So I'll click on connect, and you can see now that the charts are being read in from the data within Metatrader into these mini charts. Now, the idea of the mini charts is to give you an indication of which currency pairs are trending, and it will give you what is called a heat map. In other words, it will show the pairs which have strong trends. We'll just wait for the data to be read in. You can see that the buy and sell prices and the spread have automatically been read in. Once these have been read in, it will calculate the heat map automatically. As the prices change, you will see these colors change automatically, and the bars will move. We've just had a 1 minute changeover in the 1 minute chart, but as the prices change, the heat map colors change. You can, looking across, the GBP USD is strong in all time frames, so that's the 1 minute, the 5, 15, 30, 60, 240 and daily time frames. So that is a fairly strong trending chart at the moment. So it's simply giving you a representation of the strength of the various currencies. Euro GBP appears to be fairly weak at the moment. In other words, it's trending down on most time frames. If the data doesn't appear to be correct at any stage, you think there's a problem with the charts, it's just a matter of clicking on refresh data. When you click on refresh data, it will automatically redraw the charts, and occasionally that will happen if there's a change in price right at the changeover time. Sometimes the charts can appear to be irregular, so it's just a matter of pressing refresh data again to update the charts. So just remember that facility is available. So it's just going through and refreshing all the charts, and it will recalculate the heat maps based on the relative strengths. So that's the multi-chart function. We'll just close that off. We do have a single chart function as well. There might be a bit of delay in closing that chart because it's working with a lot of data at the particular time, so it might take 2 presses to close the chart off. We'll look at the single chart function. Once again, it establishes a connection with Metatrader. It's a matter of clicking on the connect button. We do have the API loaded, so it is now going through and it's connecting with Metatrader, and it's bringing in the latest data for the Euro USD 60-minute chart. You can see here that the various strengths of the relative currency pairs on the 60-minute time frame. We've also got a little mini chart down here which automatically always shows the 1 minute time frame at the same time. You can of course click on any of these. If we were to click, for instance, on AUD USD, once again it might take a couple of clicks for it to register. You can see now that you've got AUD USD selected. We need to press the connect button once again to bring in that data. So when we press the connect button, it will read in the data points and show you a 1 minute chart out on the right hand side. With that connection, it is available for trading. You can use the buy and sell, set your take profit, stop loss and the number of lots. So that's the one single chart command button. We'll close that off. The next one along is the display of web pages. You can manage your favorite trading web pages through this button. You can see here we have a number of web pages. They all have different colors. You can add a new row. Just remembering that if you're going to add new rows, it's in what's called the address mode at the moment. So if you click on any of these lines, the website for that particular URL will open automatically. But if you want to start adding new charts, you'll have to enter the edit mode by pressing that button there to add a new chart. If you do add a new line, I should say, you can colorize the line at the same time. So if we were to click on any of these, for instance, we'll click on Agility Software, the browser will open and that particular website will show within the browser. We're just back to the program itself now. So that's just a quick way of accessing your websites through the program itself. We'll look at the alerts button. This will read in any alerts that you have created yourself. We do have one alert in there. You can set time-based alerts or strategy-based alerts. Now the strategy-based alerts are created through the strategy tab. Just to close this off for a moment and go back to the build strategies tab, you can see that we do have a button to create an alert in there. So that would add an alert to the bottom based list there. Just back out of that for the moment and we'll look at the watch list. This is a set of parameters within the watch that we have created watch list for. So if we click on the connect button, once the connection is made, you can see that the values for these particular RSI indicators are automatically shown. So we're looking at the Euro USD RSI value, the AUD USD and the GBP USD. You can color these rows to whatever color you like if you have many strategies created. Back out of that for a moment. The next tab is the lot size calculator. Now this is handy if you're trading in a foreign currency pair and you're, say for instance, you live in USA but you're trading in Euro USD currency pairs, you may need to use this calculator to get your lot size correct. So you simply input your equity, the risk percentage that you want to take. It can be based on stop loss. If you're using a fairly low stop losses, you can increase the value of your wager. Your leverage rate, it defaults to 100, but you can change whatever you're using within your Metatrader platform. The currency pair, for instance, if you're using Euro USD, it might be 1.2 as an exemplary rate. But just say you're using Euro GBP and you wanted to deal in US dollars, you will have to input the rate that you have between the Euro and the US dollar as a particular separate figure. If it's, for instance, just say you're dealing with AUD and Euro, there is no AUD Euro rate, but there is a Euro AUD rate. So you put in the Euro AUD rate there and then just click on invert rate and then press your calculate button and it will give you the correct lot size based on those parameters. So that is your lot size calculator. The next button along is your print window button. That will print the contents of the Agility Trader 6 window as it is presented at any particular point in time. So if you're in a back test situation and you just want to print out a copy of that window, just use the print window button. It can print to PDF file or directly to your printer. And finally, the last button is your help file. That will display the help file for Agility Trader. And of course, you can step through the pages of your help file. It's been a fairly brief introduction. I would ask you to have a good read of the help file. And if you do have any queries or any problems with your own strategy development, use the forum at agility-soft.com. There is a forum there, and I look forward to hearing from your input or any suggestions that you may have for the program. Thank you for your attention to this video. We'll see you in the next video.